Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Emma here. You might recognize this place. I am back in Playa Grande, Costa Rica, really close to Tamarindo. I co-lead a yoga retreat here every year. So obviously at the time of filming, that's where I am. Super gorgeous. I don't have my actual professional camera with me because it's super humid here. So that's why the video quality is a little bit less than it usually is, but I still wanted to share this awesome scenery with you. As you might know, thunderstorms are very common here in Costa Rica, so if you hear stuff going on, we are likely expecting some thunderstorms this afternoon. There's also lots of other people, construction going on property, so if you hear noises, just know that's why, and I can only do so much to control the surroundings when I film these things. So I hope you enjoy this awesome scenery. Let's go ahead and grab a child's pose and do some yoga. Just bring your knees out wide, forehead down. You can always bring your knees together and drape your arms by your side if you prefer. Push down into your forearms, feel a little lift. Or push down into your palms, I suppose, and feel a little lift in your forearms. Almost kind of imagine the sides of your body getting longer. And take a deep, full breath in. Feel that inhale from the tip of the nose as it travels down your windpipe, fills up your chest, your lungs, and your belly. Open your mouth, take a big sigh out, and notice the temperature, the texture of the exhale. And take a moment just to tune in here. Notice any thoughts or sensations, if those will serve a purpose for your practice, such as motivation, inspiration. You might like to keep those with you. If they're distracting, go ahead and let those go. Prop up onto your fingertips, lifting the palms like you had a baseball underneath them. Take a deep, full breath in. As you exhale, let's walk those hands over to the left first today. Maybe the left hand down by the knee. Keep sinking your right hip back towards your right heel and breathe here for 3. Relax your jaw, the muscles in your face. 2. And 1, walk your hands all the way over to the right. Maybe the right hand back by the right knee. Sink your left armpit down a little bit, almost like you're twisting to the right, and breathe here for 3. 2. And 1. Walk your hands back through center. Slide all the way forward onto your belly. Bring your hands behind your head and your forehead down. As you inhale, lift your chest. Extend your arms out to the sides with the palms facing down. Turn your palms to face up and then bend your elbows, placing your hands at your low backs. This is to help open up the shoulder joint. Extend your arms wide, the palms are still down. Turn your palms face up and bring your hands behind your head. Lower your forehead back down. Keep pressing down into the tops of your feet. We'll do that again. Inhale, head up. Exhale, arms wide. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, hands to low back. Inhale, arms wide. Exhale, palms down. Inhale, hands behind head. Exhale, lower forehead. Just one more. Inhale, head up. Exhale, arms wide. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, hands to low back. Inhale, arms wide. Exhale, palms down. Inhale, hands to head. Exhale, lower forehead. Plant your palms in line with your ribs. Roll yourself up to a cobra shape. And then find a tabletop. You might need to adjust your knees a little bit so they're underneath your hips. As you breathe in, drop your belly, pull your chest through and look up. As you breathe out, push your shin bones down, scoop your tailbone and gaze towards your navel. Again, inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow pose. This time, keep the tops of your feet down, round your back like cat, and see if you can hover your knees 1 or 2 inches off the ground. Lower your knees back down. Inhale, cow pose, look up. Exhale, puff up your back, hover your knees 1 or 2 inches off the mat. Imagine squeezing a yoga block between the knees. Drop your knees down. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, round cat, hover your knees, hold 3, 2, 1. Drop your knees, walk it all the way out, puppy pose. Option to grab the front of the mat and pull it forward. Keep pressing down with the tops of your feet, your toenails. Feel the inner thighs roll back, melt in behind your heart. Slide forward to Sphinx pose. Stack your shoulders over your elbows. Press down with the tops of your feet. Pull your chest forward, your shoulder heads back. Squeeze your legs. Keep pressing down with the tops of your feet, and then scoop your tailbone. So try to lift the pubic bone off of the ground and then lift your thighs as well. So you're in a forearm plank with the tops of the feet down. I like to call this like a penguin plank. It should be a lot harder. 3, 2, and 1. Lower your hips down, regular Sphinx pose. Or if you want a little bit more stretch on your abdomen, you could take your feet wider and your hands wider, straighten your arms into more of a seal pose. Try to relax your glutes, feel that nice stretch on your belly. Lower your forearms back down. This time, spike your toes to the mat. Lift your hips, regular forearm plank. Doesn't feel so bad after that, does it? Look down between the thumbs, squeeze your legs together, and then imagine pushing the thighs up while scooping the tailbone back. Start to walk your feet forward into a dolphin pose. Drop your head and look back at your heels. The heels do not need to touch the ground, but they're going in that direction. Push the forearms forward and down. Make sure your head has space to hang heavy, but is not touching the mat. Tone your belly. Drop down to your knees, camel pose, hands to the low back. Lift your chest and then start to lean back. Scoop your tailbone forward, spread your collarbones apart. Breathe for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale up, exhale, hands to the mat. Tuck your toes, start to make your way to downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal out your legs if you still need to warm up the calves and the hamstrings a bit. Spread your fingers out nice and wide. Pointer fingers or the middle fingers pointing forward, however feels best. Press down with the base of your thumb and the base of your pointer finger. Let's lift both heels up, tippy toes, walk all the way up to the front of your mat. Step the feet out nice and wide. You can either grab the elbows or just let your arms hang heavy and find a gentle sway side to side. Soften the muscles in your face and imagine breathing all the way down to your heels. If you've got the elbows, switch it out, opposite arm on top. And then release your arms, left hand down, bend deep into your left knee, send your right arm up. Roll out your right wrist. Stay there or half wrap your right arm behind your back. Feel a little lean to the left as you peel your chest open to the right. And release. Right hand down, mat or block, bend your right knee, reach your left arm up. Option to roll out the left wrist. And then maybe half wrap that left arm behind the back. Lean a little to the right, spread your collarbones apart. And release. Left hand down, lift up halfway, take a breath in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, reach both arms up overhead. Interlace your hands and flip your palms to face up. Pull the bottom ribs in and lean over to the right. Push your hips to the left. Squeeze your legs. Come back through center and then lean over to your left, bumping the hips gently to the right. Can you get lighter in the toes? Come back up through center. Look up and see which thumb is on top. Then bind your hands behind your back with the opposite grip. Lift your chest and lean back. Send your hips forward. Then bend your knees a lot and fold over your legs. Feel the inner thighs roll back. Feel a little pull of your sternum forward as you breathe in, more fold as you breathe out. Release your hands to the ground. Take a long step back with your left foot. Find a runner's lunge. Bend and straighten into your legs 3 times. Drop your back knee, reach both arms up to a low lunge. You can either grab your left wrist or right hand to the right hip and take a side bend to the right for 3. Sink into your right heel, 2. And 1, back through center, half splits pose. Fingertips on the mat or sweep your arms back to get a little bit more core activation. Think about the right heel digging down and dragging back for 3. 2, and 1. Find your runner's lunge position. Lift your back knee. We're going to walk it all the way over to the left. Skandasana at the back. Deeply bend your left knee. You could open up the arms if you're ready for that. Hands at heart center is great. Squeeze your right leg. Feel the inner thigh go up. And then pivot around to the back of your mat. Frame your left foot. Bend and straighten your left leg 3 times. Drop your back knee and reach both arms up to a low lunge. Option to grab the right wrist or left hand to the left hip and take a side bend to the left. Think about breathing all the way down the right side for 3. 2. 1, back through center, half splits pose, hands on the mat or sweeping the arms back. Pull your sternum forward. Think about leading with the space between your eyes instead of your chin so you're not craning your neck. And release your hands to the mat, rebend your left knee, find runner's lunge. Skandasana at the front of the mat, deeply bend your right knee, flex your left toes. Left leg is really, really active. If you don't feel the action here, try to lift your hips like an inch or so. Pivot around towards the front. Step back to plank pose. Shift forward and lower halfway. Try to hold here. Gaze forward, option to drop your knees. Press yourself back up to plank and then downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And let it go. Lift your heels, look forward, step, or if you're ready, jump up to the front of your mat. Halfway lift, fold forward. Inhale, rise, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, bring it all the way back down. Fold. Lift up halfway, take a breath in. Exhale, step or jump back, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just take 1 breath here. In and out through the nose, if possible, ujjayi breath. Then lift your heels, look forward, step or jump to the front. Halfway lift, fold forward. Inhale, rise, look up at your thumbs. Exhale, fold all the way back down, empty. Halfway lift, breath in. Step back or jump back, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. 1 cycle of ujjayi breath. Look forward, step or jump to the front. half lift, fold. Inhale, rise, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold back down. Halfway lift. Step back or jump back, chaturanga. Inhale your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Through the nose, deep breath out. Look forward, step your right foot to your right thumb. Spin your back foot flat and rise, warrior one. Roll your outer left hip forward. Clasp your hands and release your index fingers. Look up, hug your biceps to your temples. Take a breath in. As you exhale, hinge and draw a line to the arch of your left foot. Keep your right knee bent, similar to a humble warrior, but not quite. Push into your feet, come all the way up, pivot to the left. Release your arms, find warrior two to the back. Deeply bend your left knee. Push your knees away from each other. Try not to let that right hip pop up. Sink your right hip down. Flip your left palm, reverse warrior, reach up and back. Keep sinking into your left heel. We're gonna twist to the back of the mat. Right hand down, roll onto your right toes. Reach your left arm up. Push the right thigh up and try not to let your right heel fall in or out. Look down, step your right foot to meet your left foot, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, find chair pose, Utkatasana. If the feet together doesn't feel good, separate your feet hip width. Keep the weight in your heels, take a breath in. As you exhale, sweep both arms back and lift your left leg up behind you into warrior three. Roll your outer left hip down. As you come up, that left arm underneath the right arm, left leg up and over the right leg to eagle pose. Feel free to put your left toes down as a kickstand. Take a breath in. As you exhale, drop your elbows towards your top knee. Unwind your legs first, keeping a bend in the bottom knee as you unravel to half moon pose. The right hand can find a block. I like to use the right fingertips, and as a challenge, maybe floating the right hand off of the ground. Hard flex of the left foot, pull your belly button back, keep breathing, one more. Start to bend your right knee and take a long step back to warrior two on the right side. Shift into your left leg, Skandasana at the front of the mat. Left hip bumping right hip a little to the right. Use your hands if you need and take a seat. Make sure your left toes are pointing to the long edge of your mat. We're gonna go for a side stretch, gate pose variation. Right hand to the left ankle, left arm up and over. You're trying to dive inside the right thigh. Turn your chest up towards the ceiling. Sink your left sitting bone for 3. 2. And 1. Sit yourself back up. Extend your left leg straight so your legs are at 90 degrees. Place your left hand outside of your left hip. Left toes towards the front of the mat. Right toes in, fall in triangle pose. Lift your hips. Pull the left shoulder back. Place your right hand down. Let's go 3-leg downward dog with that left leg up. Bend your knees, stack your hips, shift your shoulders over your wrists and either stay here or flip it over into wild thing. Push in behind your heart, plug your right shoulder back for 3. 2. 1, flip around. Maybe the left leg stays floating, 1 leg chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your left foot to your left thumb. Spin your right foot flat, rise warrior 1. Roll your outer right hip forward, interlace your hands, opposite grip and look up. Straighten the arms, hug the biceps towards the temples, take a breath in. As you exhale, hinge and draw a line to the arch of your right foot. Push into your feet, come all the way up and around to the back of your mat, warrior two. Push the knees outwards while dragging the heels towards each other. Try to sink this left hip in line with the right. Flip your right palm, reverse warrior, reach more up than back. Then windmill your left hand to the back of your mat, take a twist. Push the back of your left leg up, stack your shoulders. Look down, step your left foot to meet your right foot, halfway lift. Fold forward. Bend your knees, chair pose, reach up. Sweep both arms back and lift your right leg up behind you. Feel a slight twist to the left as you drop your outer right hip. As you come up, that right arm under the left arm, right leg over the left leg, Garudasana, eagle pose. Can you lift your triceps off your chest? Lengthen the back of your neck by lifting the back of your skull. Drop your elbows towards your top knee. Unravel the legs first. Keep your bottom knee bent as you open your hips. When the hips stack, you can straighten your legs. Half moon pose. Flex your right foot. Maybe you challenge yourself by floating the left fingers off the mat for 3. Squeeze your glutes together, 2. And 1. Bend your left knee, take a long step back to warrior 2. And then shift your weight into your right leg to Skandasana at the front. You want to sit yourself down, make sure your right toes point to the long edge of your mat. Your left hand will grab your right ankle for gate variation. Reach your right arm up and over as you dive to the left. Turn your chest up towards the ceiling. Sink your right sitting bone as much as possible. Imagine breathing down the right side for 3, 2, and 1. Lift yourself back up. Extend your right leg straight out so your legs are at 90 degrees. Right hand outside the right hip. The left toes go in, the right toes go out. Fall in triangle pose. Lift your hips. Extend your top arm for a deeper side body stretch. Left hand down. Find 3-leg down dog with the right leg up. Bend your knees, stack your hips, shift forward and stay here, or slow, flip it around, wild thing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flip it around, maybe floating the right leg, 1 leg chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bring your hands together, step your right foot outside of your right hand, lizard pose. Hug your right knee in and push your left thigh up. Then drop your back knee, turn your right toes out, crooked monkey pose. Right hand to the right thigh, maybe reaching for your back foot. Keep melting your hips forward for 3, for 2, and 1. Release to pyramid pose. Wiggle your right foot in and shorten your stance. Feel the right hip pull back, left hip roll forward. Take your hands over to the left. You might like to widen the stance a little bit. Your right hand will grab your outer left ankle. Then let's see if that left hand can grab the right foot and you're turning your chest to the left. Squeeze your legs. Now we're gonna work into a bind. That right arm underneath the right leg, left arm up and over. Feel free to stay here in this bound pyramid shape. If you'd like to try a birds of paradise, you'll step that left foot forward to meet the right foot. Then shift your weight into your left leg, come up to stand on your left leg. Proud chest. Maybe straightening right leg out for 3. I am extremely tight-hipped from walking on the beach for all week. So do as I say, not as I do. And then we'll slowly bring ourselves back down, right foot down, hands down, left foot long step back, pigeon pose on the right. You're always welcome to take a modified pigeon with blocks. You can take seated figure 4, double pigeon pose, Agni Stambhasana. Always lots of options here. Never going for pain in this pose or others. Always going for sensation. Take about 2 more breaths in pigeon pose. Begin to walk your hands back towards you. Roll onto your right hip and swing your left leg around. Cradle your right leg or take a seated figure 4. Push your low back in so you're not rounding your spine. Feel free to stay here, or if you'd like to try compass pose, grab your right foot with both hands. Try to put your right foot up and over like a backpack, the calf over the shoulder. The right hand down. I like fingers in to help internally rotate your shoulder. And then maybe the left hand grabs the right foot. You begin to kick back and turn your chest to the left. Again, keep pushing the low back in. Right arm pushing right leg back for 3, 2, 1. Release. Arm balance exit if you'd like. 8 angle pose, Asta Vakrasana, left ankle, cross over right ankle, blocks are great. Under the hands, squeeze the inner thighs onto the right tricep as you kick your feet out to the right. Maybe you come back, unthread your left leg. I'm a little sticky, but we got it. Step back, jump back, vinyasa. Mine did not look very pretty, so it's always more about the feel than the look. Don't get so caught up in how the poses look, or try not to, I should say. Thumbs touch, left foot outside, left hand, lizard pose. You can probably hear the rain. Hopefully it's not too distracting. Drop your back knee, turn the left toes out, left hand to the left thigh. Option to reach for the back foot. Release back foot if you've got it. Wiggle your left foot in pyramid pose. Shorten the stance, fold over your left leg. Great hamstring stretch here. Feel the outer right hip roll forward. Lengthen your sides. Now widen the stance a little bit. Walk the hands over to the right. See if you can reach that left hand back for the outer right ankle. Right hand maybe grabbing the left foot, turning chest to the right. Kind of twisting like a pretzel here. The goal is to get that left shoulder nice and cozy up to the left inner thigh so that you can easier wrap your left arm underneath, right arm behind. Feel free to stay in this bound pyramid shape or step your right foot up towards your left. Shift your weight into your right leg and come up to stand on the right leg. Birds of paradise. I'm not even sure I can straighten my left leg at all here. And if you can't make a bind, you can always use a towel. Maybe work to straighten the left leg. 3, 2, 1. Start to lower your left foot back down, hands down, and step the right foot back. Take your left shin across the mat, pigeon pose. So if anything, hopefully this class goes to show you that even though I can oftentimes do all of these poses, a lot of it does depend on many other things. What else you've been doing, where you are, how much you've slept. So like I mentioned, we've been walking the beach quite a lot. I've been running a lot. So my hips are feeling extra tight. I've been teaching a lot of yoga, but haven't been doing a lot of yoga. So try to be patient with yourself. Take a few more breaths here. Begin to walk back up under your hands, roll onto your left hip and swing your right leg around. Cradle your left leg or take a seated figure 4. If you'd like to move on, you really want to make sure this left hip is nice and open. Try putting left calf up and over left shoulder like a backpack strap. Left hand down. I like to turn the fingers in and then use that left upper arm to help push the thigh back. Maybe right hand grabs the outside of the left foot, straightening the leg, kicking back, turning chest to the right. Again, push the low back in and breathe for 3, 2, 1. Release. Option for that 8 angle pose exit. Cross right ankle over left thigh. Blocks are great here. Squeeze inner thighs onto left tricep. Maybe unthread. Right leg going back. Ekapada, vinyasa. Step or jump back to your vinyasa. All right. Look forward, step or jump through to a seat. We're gonna lie down onto our backs. Pull the heels in nice and close with the toes forward. Scoop your tailbone, keep that tuck, lift your hips, bridge pose. If you'd like to make a bind here, you're more than welcome to. Press down a little bit with the balls of the feet so you feel the inner thighs engage, almost like you're squeezing a balloon between the knees for 3, 2, 1. Lower your hips down. We'll do one more back bend. You could do bridge again, or if you know, upward bow. Hands beside the head, thumbs point towards the ears. Hug your elbows in. Same setup. Scoop your tailbone, lift your hips, then push into your hands, lift your torso. Push your knees forward and your chest back. Keep squeezing that imaginary balloon between your knees. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Chin tuck, slow lower to your belly, to your back. Hug your knees in. Rock gently side to side. Take your arms wide, drop your knees over to the left and look off to the right. Let your shoulder blades feel flat, heavy. Bring your knees back through center and over to the right. Gaze off to the left. Adjust your hips as needed. Come back through center. Give yourself a big squeeze. If there's any closing pose like happy baby, shoulder stand, legs up the wall, waterfall, please go ahead and find that now. And when you're ready, making your way onto your back into Shavasana. You know, maybe the rain actually sounds perfect for Shavasana. I'm not sure how well it will transfer over the mic, but if you can hear it, I hope you can enjoy this peaceful sound of rain. Almost imagine a cleansing, rejuvenating energy washing over you. Deep breath in and let it all go. Slowly bring some awareness back, fingers, toes first. Notice anything in your body or your mind. Are those things that you want to keep with you and carry off of your mat? Or are those things better left behind here? Stretch your arms overhead, point your toes. Hug your knees in and then roll to your right or left side. When you feel ready, make your way up to a seated position with the eyes closed. We'll draw the hands to heart center, take a breath in, and exhale. Namaste. Thank you so much for choosing to practice with me. I hope you enjoyed the scenery, the sounds, hopefully. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you back next week.